Okay, next I will explain about the characteristic of nerve impulse. Okay, so I already explained about the nerve impulse that it can be transmitted along the axon, and then when the one part of the axon receive the electrical impulse, it will trigger the action potential. Okay, now we need to learn about the characteristic of nerve impulse. Okay, so what is the characteristic of nerve impulse? So first one is refractory period. Nerve impulse is transmitted through the refractory period, meaning that what is the refractory period? When the sodium ion channel remain inactivated during the falling phase and the early part of the undershoot, meaning that this one. Refractory period is a period your sodium channel is inactivated during the falling phase and early part of the undershoot. So at here, this is what we call as refractory period actually. Okay, so the second depolarizing stimulus occur during this period, it was unable to trigger the action potential. So meaning that this period actually is to prevent frequent action potential. Meaning that when there are the action potential, when the membrane potential is starting to decrease, at the same time, when they're starting to decrease, at the same time, there are another type of stimulus again. So when there are another type of stimulus again, this stimulus will be inhibited. I can't stop there. Why? Because of refractory period. Kerana dia kena siapkan semua ni. It want to finish one round, then it can trigger another type of action potential. If not, during the rising state of repolarization or in the undershoot state, if there are another type of stimulus occur at the same time, then no action potential will be triggered again. Dia tak akan keluar sini akan naik atas, naik balik, tak ada. This is one of the refractory period function. So the downtime when a second action potential cannot be initiated is called the refractory period. So this period is the safety zone to prevent that the stimulus is too frequently triggered. If there are too many, if you will be imagine that if during repolarization start to decrease and then got stimulus again, meaning that the membrane potential will starting to increase again and trigger another type of potential higher than this. Cannot. No. So you need to inhibit this. So refractory period is due to inactivation of sodium ion channel, not the charge in the ion concentration gradient. It is very important. You need to know that refractory period is due to your sodium ion channel is starting inactivate rather than the ion concentration gradient. Not say that when potassium ion is influx out, then with this we call as refractory period, or sodium ion inside out, or the sodium ion is blocked, or the charge between the axon and the outside the cell is different, it we call as refractory period. No. And then the flow or charge particle during action potential involve far too few ions to change the concentration either side of the permeable membrane significantly, and then it only allow the action potential move in one direction. This preferably be only one direction. When there are the stimulus at here, dia tak akan terbalik banyak. Cannot, you will not go to the reverse direction. But if go to reverse direction, then got problem lah. Okay. And then it also limit the frequency of action potential when success free. This one I just mentioned about it. Limit. We cannot too high. If too high, you imagine that it is the voltage. You know that voltage is too high. If you see that like the too high voltage, it will make the people die, right? Like the electrical shock from the blood. From the blood, you may die, right? Why? Because the voltage is too high. When the voltage is too very high, it can lead to the vital case, meaning that you will die. So it need to inhibit. So you see that the membrane potential cannot too high one. Maximum is only 30. Cannot too high. If too high like 50, 60 or even 100, wow, you will die. Right? You will die. You will face the electrical shock. So this action potential is limited. Dia nak limit. Kalau tak limit, wah dia datang, then your membrane potential will be very high until can reach 100, 120, even though until 240 if you not limited. So this is very important. Okay, and then there are two types of refractory period. It is solely refractory period and relative refractory period. So you see this diagram more easy lah. As solely refractory period is between the rising state and also depolarization and also repolarization, and relative refractory period is in the undershoot, or we call as hyperpolarization state. Okay. Another characteristic is all or none law. Okay. What are these meaning? Okay. So normally, if you see this diagram more easily to me explain, meaning that all of none law, either it can be triggered, the action potential either can be triggered or cannot be triggered only. It does not containing that only half type of action potential. Tada. No such thing. Either it can trigger, no matter your electrical impulse, your stimulus is too high. When your stimulus it can make the membrane potential reach the threshold level, then it will directly trigger action potential. So maybe your stimulus is although it is very weak, if it is very weak, meaning that it does not reach the threshold level, then no further depolarization process, repolarization process. Okay, so it will directly go to the resting state lah. So no action potential will be occur. Yeah. So this is the all or none law. So this is the explanation you can read yourself. Okay. And then about the speeding. Okay, about the speed. Normally that the control the speed is one is about the diameter and also one is about the presence of myelin sheath. So normally in diameter of axon is, then the diameter of the axon is more larger, then you will have a faster speed of conduction lah. So why? Because the smaller diameter will have the greater resistance, and it will lower the speed. If you imagine that when the diameter is long, then it will have more space and less resistance. And that also present on myelin sheath. So this one I already explained before lah. Why? Because it containing myelin sheath made up of scaffold cell, because it's a good insulator, so no electrical will be passed through. So normally the electrical will be propagated, will be moved through the node of vanval only. So the action potential of a myelin axon will be propagate more rapidly, because time consuming opening and closing are very short, and then this mechanism we call as secondary conduction, because the action potential is appear jump from node to node along the axon. Yeah. Okay, so that's all for about the transmission characteristic of the nerve impulse.